Hello and welcome back to Satisfactory. In this Satisfactory tutorial, I'm going to show you how to build a simple and easy train roundabout. If you have large production goals, having an efficient train network is a must, and roundabouts are a great way to achieve that goal. So let's take a look at how to build a roundabout. I've loaded up my Update 3 series base. As you probably remember, I didn't use trains much in this space, but if I had increased the production goal even just a little, they would have been much more necessary. But I've built this little staging area to help demonstrate this roundabout. So let's get started. The staging area is a 6x6 grid of foundations with a 2x(n), it doesn't matter how long they are necessarily, grid of input foundations. On these foundations would be a parallel set of rails, one inbound and one outbound. And right-hand drive, left-hand drive, it doesn't matter, especially in Satisfactory, because the trains just do what they want anyway. But this roundabout tutorial can be used for either style of build. So if I hop down here and I pull up my railway tool, I can start a basic piece of straight railway here on the seam between the third and fourth foundation, centered on that foundation like this. And then I need to extend this out just long enough to where it's placeable. Doesn't have to be any longer than that. And place that down. Now I want to build a curve from this point on these foundations to the same point on the foundations a quarter of the way around the square here. So to that point. That gives us the ability to identify that 1/4 circle arc here and mark a point that is halfway between there and there along the curve, which on a 6x6 grid such as this happens to be this intersection between these 4 foundation blocks and this corner of this 6x6 grid. If you think of the 6x6 grid as 9 sets of 4, you kind of get an idea where this is. So we're going to take this same concept to each of the other 3 corners and have a foundation pole or other small object. You don't have to use a foundation, or a conveyor pole, excuse me. You don't have to use a conveyor pole. A small object, any kind of small object is good enough, but they're small enough and easy enough and cheap enough to build that they work well for this situation. I want to take another piece of straight rail 25% of the way around the curve where we left off with that quarter arc now, and put it down here and make sure that it is straight and long enough, obviously, to build with. Now come back to the original, or either one, actually, we could use this one, and start another piece of railway and end it right where your marker is in the same exact style and position here, which for this one happens to be as if that rail running alongside the railway is running directly into the conveyor pole, like that. And then complete the quarter arc using another piece. Now remove one of the straight railway segments and continue around the circle 25% more, 90 degrees more, and place another straight railway segment. Again, as long as it's straight and long enough to build, it doesn't matter how long it is. And you can pick up from either side again with your curve and make another 1/8 curve in that direction. And then complete the quarter with another 1/8 curve. And again, repeat those same steps for the next one, placing the additional straight piece here and there, and then doing the 1/8 and 1/8 circle pieces as before. Finally, remove both of the straight pieces of railway as that are left, and complete the last quarter of the circle by using 2 pieces of railway like so. Now let's go back up to the top of our observation tower. And we can see by walking around here that it is indeed a perfect circle. The rail is centered on each of the foundations at each of the sides. And we have a seam on each of those points, as well as a seam where each of the conveyor poles were here to mark the corners, or the halfway points. So you now have an 8-segment roundabouts, 8-segment circle roundabout. Now we need to delete all of these conveyor poles because we don't need them anymore. They were just there to mark those points. And finally, this one. And then we can come out here and place a piece of railway from our incoming rails, and these can come from, I mean, imagine these go off into infinity, to wherever your outposts happen to be. Connect that rail to where the conveyor pole was, the sort of 8th line here, like this, and that will be a nice curved piece of rail here for the input or output, depending on your direction here, of the rail going there. Now you can continue it from this point or from that point. The advantage to using... Actually, it doesn't matter. The advantage doesn't matter. There is no advantage. But you can continue this rail in this way, and that means now you have another output or another input to the other direction, and kind of continue working your way around as you need them. You obviously don't need all 8 if you don't have rails going in every direction. Railroad track is too sharp of a turn. I messed it up. That's just me connecting to the wrong side of that curve. Okay, so then we have... Yeah, see, you get to be careful with this because it'll do the wrong thing here. But we can continue all the way around the whole circle if we need to. If we need to have 4 directions here. Or if you just have 3, you can just connect up 3 directions. But now I have all 8 lines connected to my roundabout. So let's go back up here and you can kind of see what it looks like at the top of the observation tower. We have the lines going off into the distance towards whatever might be in that direction, whatever might be in this direction, and maybe this one's going into the base, and that one's going off into that direction. So we have a roundabout here that can handle 4 directions. Everything is kind of perfectly balanced. Everything is well formed. If you wanted to do a little bit of styling here with your foundations, you could use maybe the inverted, what is it called? The inverted corner, the up corner, 8 by 2. I'm using the 2-meter foundations here. You could use the inverted corner, or the up corner 8 by 2 to maybe put an angle here, and maybe even change out this one for the same. If you wanted to do some sort of styling along that line, styling is up to you. The functionality is here, and the trains will happily go around this and go out whatever direction you need them to go. So this pattern is done using the 6 by 6 grid. The same exact thing could be done using any even numbered grid, as long as you go out, as long as you make it a full quarter turn every time. So you could go to 8 by 8 as long as it was a 4 by 4 section. Your point that's there where you're putting down your conveyor pole is going to be in a different spot. It won't be right on the seam crossing. But as long as you can identify the spot where the conveyor pole goes to mark your 45-degree connection point there, then you are good to go. So I hope this tutorial was useful to you. If you would like to say a comment or ask a question, please leave those in the comments below. Also, you can join my Discord, which you will find in the description, the link to the Discord in the description. And of course, let me know if there's any other building tutorials that you would like to see in Satisfactory, and I would be happy to add those to this tutorial series. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.